The shocking truth has been revealed. Recent reports detail exactly what the Buffalo Bills tried to do at the NFL trade deadline, but just couldn't get to the finish line. Hello, everyone, and welcome to Bills Digest. Josh Schreiber here. It's a Buffalo Bills game day, and today we're going to be talking about multiple trades that the Bills could have made and tried to make, but ultimately just couldn't get it done. And, by now you guys know that the Buffalo Bills did not do anything at the trade deadline, and we are now learning that that was not because of a lack of try. In fact, they tried to make a couple of huge, massive splash trades that would have ultimately changed the entire landscape of the NFL, but ultimately were unlucky and couldn't get them done. I'm going to highlight exactly what those trades were, what they would have done, and what this means for the future of the Buffalo Bills. But some really exciting stuff. Ultimately, I know that they weren't able to get anything done, but I'm going to tell you guys exactly why this is really good for the Bills' future. Well, before we get into the video, again, thank you guys for absolutely smashing that subscribe button. It helps us a lot. We are getting so close to 1,500 subscribers. So if you are one of the 88% of people watching this video and enjoying it, and you are not subscribed yet, please go ahead and hit that subscribe button. It helps us a whole lot, and it gives you guys some free Daily Bills content. Well, let's get to what you guys have been waiting for. This morning, it was announced that Tom Pelissero of NFL Network said that the Bills were the highest bidder for Dolphins wide receiver Jaylen Waddle, and they also tried to acquire Quinnen Williams before the deadline. In both cases, their AFC East division rivals were not willing to get a trade done with the Buffalo Bills, and this is obviously no surprise. Unfortunately, when you're in the same division as a team, they are very unlikely to want to trade with you unless it's a very short-term deal. Ultimately, the Jets and the Dolphins decided that they were better off not trading with the five-time AFC East reigning division champions, and instead opted to go a different direction. Now, I'm going to get into exactly what the Bills offered and where they weren't able to find an agreement with these teams, but there are a lot of people talking about, trading within division. Is it worth it? Is it not worth it? Now, there was a lot of discourse on Twitter you saw Jets and Dolphins fans saying, I would not have been able to live with myself or with the team if they traded Jaylen Waddle, for example, who is, to be honest, the Dolphins' best player right now, and it's by a wide margin. Him and Devon Achane are really the only two good players on this team practically at this point. Maybe Bradley Chubb on defense, but other than that, it's a very short list. And if you're the Miami Dolphins, let's be real, you just can't do it. Unless it is an overwhelmingly good trade where you're 100% positive you are stealing from the Buffalo Bills, you cannot make that trade. But anyways, here is more of the report that Ian Rappaport, he was also in on this report. He said the Bills offered a third-round pick and a first-round pick for Jaylen Waddle, which a massive haul for a wide receiver, just a really solid offer by the Buffalo Bills. And you have to imagine the Dolphins at least gave it some consideration, but ultimately decided that it wasn't worth it. And previous reports said teams in the AFC East were just unwilling to trade with the Buffalo Bills. Those reports coming from Tom Pelissero and company. Now, why did the Dolphins not want to trade Jaylen Waddle to the Buffalo Bills? Well, that was detailed in this report here, where the Bills offered their 2027 first-round pick as part of a trade package for Jaylen Waddle. The Dolphins wanted the pick to be in 2026. Now, I know you guys are thinking, well, why not offer a 2026 first rounder? But here is what I'm trying to wrap my head around. It is reported that Quinnen Williams was offered a first round pick by the Buffalo Bills. My question to you guys and in general, is it possible that the Buffalo Bills wanted to trade for both Jaylen Waddle and Quinnen Williams instead of either or like people are talking about? I think that's a real possibility. I think that the Bills did not offer enough for Quinnen Williams. The Cowboys added a second round pick as well, so a really hefty price for a really, really good player. But I'm guessing the Bills were offering, if I had to guess, I think the Bills offered a first round pick for this coming year for Quinnen Williams and a first round pick for next year for Jaylen Waddle. And I think they really wanted to bring in both of these guys. I think they wanted to make two big splashes. And I want to give Brandon Beane some credit where I've been a little bit hard on him in the past week or so, which, you know, fair enough. I'm a massive Bills fan. I want the Bills to trade and put themselves in the best position to win right now. But you got to give Beane credit. It seems like it just was a situation where sometimes the teams that suck are in your division and you just can't get them. And that is where you got to understand that the Bills are not going to trade away their whole future to overpay for a guy in their division. It comes to the point where you just can't expect that of them. So I do want to give Brandon Beane his flowers. Now, with Jaylen Waddle being not moved at the trade deadline and Quinnen Williams getting dealt to the Dallas Cowboys, there is a serious chance that the Bills are going to be in on a splash move in the coming offseason. So that is kind of what I got out of this. And this report said that Dan Feets and Jenna Cottrell said 99% shot that they are upgrading at the wide receiver position in the offseason. That's what they got out of this by the Bills saying we're trying to trade for Jaylen Waddle. Now, I think it might be a little bit lower than that because there is a chance that the Bills were not willing to trade for a wide receiver unless it was a guy like Jaylen Waddle who is the type of player that could move the needle to change you from a Super Bowl contender to a Super Bowl winner. I think that the Bills would have to have a guy like that they think they can trade for, and maybe that will become a reality in the offseason. Who knows? But something to keep an eye on certainly is the Bills trading or signing some sort of big wide receiver in the offseason. So the Bills don't trade for Jaylen Waddle or Quinnen Williams at the deadline, not able to get anything done there. But what do you guys think? Do you guys think the Buffalo Bills tried to trade for both of these guys? And what do you think the Bills should do in the future? Should they attack a wide receiver in the offseason? We've got some time, but go ahead, comment, subscribe, and like this video. We really appreciate you guys. Go Bills, let's squish the fish today.